Let's quickly shift focus over to a CNN News 18 mega exclusive that we are bringing to you in inputs shared by Security Affairs Editor Manoj Gupta. Tensions have flared between Russia and Pakistan. This over agenda-driven articles in a Pakistani newspaper. The Russian embassy in Islamabad has accused the Frontier Post of serving Western interests and spreading anti-Russia propaganda, portraying Russia as economically weak and vulnerable to sanctions. Moscow calls these claims baseless and says the newspaper is distorting Russia's image. Sources in Pakistan's Foreign Office state that the Russian embassy has reportedly sent a démarche to Pakistan's Foreign Office, raising the issue officially with the government as well. Let's quickly go across to Siddhant, who will break that entire story down for us. Siddhant, what are you learning in terms of the instructions coming in from the Russian embassy to begin with?
Well, that's right, Akansha. In fact, this input has been brought to us by Securities Editor Manoj Gupta. Now, Pakistan, Russia, newspapers' agenda-driven articles have been highlighted by the Russian embassy. In fact, Russia slams Pakistani newspapers. Islamabad is serving Western agenda. That is what Russian embassy in Pakistan accuses the newspapers in Pakistan of. In fact, Pakistani newspapers spreading Western propaganda. Moscow accuses Pakistani daily, the Frontier Post, serving foreign sponsors in anti-Russia push. The Frontier Post serving Western media and spreading fake news against Russia. The Frontier Post is portraying Russia as economically weak and vulnerable to sanctions. Such claims are baseless and reflecting mindless copying of Western talking points. The Frontier Post daily is distorting Russian image by publishing agenda-driven articles. This is what Russian embassy in Islamabad has to say. The Russian embassy questioned the newspaper's Pakistani identity. Russian embassy has sent démarche to Pakistani Foreign Office. This is what sources have told Manoj Gupta. In fact, Russian embassy raises the issue of anti-Russia narrative with Pakistan government. So definitely, Russia is exposing the hypocrisy of the Pakistani media, that how their newspapers, their news channels are funded and sponsored by the Western, think tanks, the NGOs, and perhaps those news channels are spreading false news, about Russia, that Russia has become weak. There are sanctions, things like that. So, Russia has issued a démarche. In fact, there is a very long release which has come from the Russian embassy in Islamabad, commenting on this article. And in fact, this is just one article, Akansha. There have been series of such false propaganda that the Pakistani media is involved in doing against Russia. So, Shehbaz Sharif sits next to President Putin in SCO and says that we want to do friendship with you. But you look what their media houses are doing. They are sold out. They have sold out their pages. They've sold out their advertisements to the American think tanks and NGOs. And perhaps this is the reason that Russians are upset. Russians have to say that boss, how can this be allowed in Pakistan? Absolutely. So definitely Shehbaz Sharif should respond to this kind of propaganda going on in his country.
And yet another indication of the revived growing proximity between Pakistan and the US, and perhaps that's also their way of pandering to the Americans. Many thanks to you, Siddhant, for bringing us those inputs.